Oops, there we go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargaming Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You, what are you doing? Don't you know how to operate that computer? Way of the Brush, the most informative, entertaining 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about gaming, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. It's usually a lot of painting and a lot of whatever's under the sun. Show's pretty random for those of you who have never tuned in before. We tend to get kind of silly every once in a while, but that is usually par for the course as we just cover just about everything. A lot of painting. Hopefully we learn something by the end of the day. I do prefer we try and learn something anyway, but sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just end up sharing a whole lot of laughs. And so that's a good thing, I guess. In this day and age anyway. Oh, who's here already? We've got Nitfink. Hello, everyone. Hello. Nat Nugendang. Hey, what happened last week? Nitfink. Nitfink pretty much spells it out right there. Kris updated the program. Some of the plates stopped spinning, and that's pretty essentially it. It's I ran an update like 15 minutes before I was going to go live on the program that I used to do the broadcast, and it made the program hang. And so I spent the next like 5 hours trying to figure out how to get back to where I was working properly again. And it involved everything, including up to installing Windows 10, which I really didn't want to, but, it doesn't seem too bad right now. And so all the plates are spinning right now, and so everything is good. Jim White, greetings, connoisseurs of internet and monkey business. Connoisseurs? David Taylor, hey friends, how are we all today? I think we're all pretty darn good. Fallen Raven Productions, hey people, hey. Raven Falls, whoa, Fallen Raven and Raven Falls. Huh. How are we all today? Not too bad, I don't think. It's a little chilly here in the Niagara region. It's a nice, strong, cold breeze coming in. No snow for us yet here in Canada. In southern Ontario anyway. And, climate change, global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it these days. We're almost into Christmas here, and we have not had a lick of snow. And, a lot of regions depend upon the snow. And so I'm personally, I'm not a huge environmentalist, but I do get concerned when regions that, for thousands and thousands of years have gotten a steady amount of snowfall, turns to water, washes in. And when these regions don't get it, guess what happens? It's usually drought. So, anywho. Mark Hill, hi guys. Ishab, 11 Hola Monkeys. Happy holidays to you all. Well, happy holidays to you too. Hopefully, Santa Claus is good to you this year. And if you don't do the Santa Claus thing, then, I don't know. Either way, have a good holiday. Raven Falls, are we starting early? No, I don't think so. Starting right on time actually today. Everything seems to be running good. Everything's good right now. It's all good. Dr. Santos, there he is. Kurt Gershon, hello. Hopefully this week happens. Yes, this week is happening right now as I speak. I can see everything's going well. Everything's going well. So we won't talk about it no more. Raven Falls, oh, mighty computer gods, masters of almighty YouTube, please work. Oh, man. Andy Clark, painting a Lord of Skulls. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. I've yet to paint any of the larger kits these days. Usually it was just the large kits were just my Eldar kits, right? Nothing like, a Stompa or Lord of Skulls or anything like that, really. It's been a while since I worked on a big model. Dr. Santos, hey, you get off my lawn. Ishab. Good morning, afternoon, Kris. Do you think the problems last week stemmed really from the tribe of evil Ewoks? Well, if there's a tribe of evil Ewoks, then I'd be really concerned because Ewoks scare the hell out of me. Ewoks. I think everybody knows. I think by now everybody knows my opinion on Ewoks and in the Star Wars universe. I would hope by now. Ooh, I can hear the wind just howling outside. Rob Lowe, there he is. Just drop by, say hello, studying for finals. While you get studying, man. Alex Bello, hey, Dad. Hi, my boy. Lucien Villesner, made it to the live show. Awesome. Clumsy Juggler, hello, everyone. Prawn Ham Dance, hi, all. I'm awake for the episode today. Steve Cox, Kris, I'm painting salamanders and would like to know how to paint the end of the flamers to get that heat damage effect. When you're talking like at the end of the nozzle and you know how you get that heat discoloration on the metal, it's relatively simple. In the vault, I have a few videos on that. Most recently, when I had done the Alexis Pollock model for the Imperial Fist for Horus Heresy, I did his melt-a-gun, and I had done the same kind of heat treatment on that. And I did it really, really kind of simply on that one. Basically, it's just paint the metal, and then take Druchii Violet, thin it out a little bit, and go about halfway down the nozzle, and draw it up towards the end of the gun, and so allowing more color to build up. That way, you're basically doing it like glazes, but you're doing really thin, kind of translucent glazes. And you do that about 2 or 3 times and build up a bit of color, so it's a little bit faded at the end, but it gets a little deeper down towards the the end of the gun. And then come in with Guilliman Blue. Guilliman Blue? Yeah, Guilliman Blue. Again, thin it down just a little bit with some like the main medium. A little bit of water is fine as well. You're not thinning it out too much. And then just really just kind of do the rim and allow the purple and the blue to kind of mix, and it'll give you that heat discoloration. And if you really want to go a bit further, then you can take just a bit of black and just dry brush just the ends of the nozzles, just so that you get a little bit of the metal and a little bit of those colors interplaying together, and that'll give you like your scorched end of your barrel. And yeah, that's about the easiest way to do it. Is just paint it metal, a little bit of purples, drawing the color up towards the end of the nozzle, a little bit of Guilliman Blue, just let the colors interplay together, let them kind of mix visually, and then just hit the end with just a little bit of black, and I think you're good to go. Kurt Kershaw, I'm in Connecticut, and we've had 50s and 60 degrees days. It's been amazing. Best December in the last 10 years. Clover Fox, hi all, hi-yo. Tolo, there he is. Get to the email. No, you're not the boss of me, Tolo. Lucy, trying to paint up Space Marine Scout today. Really high display standard. Going to put it on a nice plinth base for my dad for Xmas. Very nice. Send some pictures. Prawn Hammer Dance. Nailed it. At Steve Cox, I can see the future. Kris will say there's a quick tip for that. there's a couple quick tips for that. Dave Taylor, Kris, have you decided your next start to finish yet? You know what? I have not, actually. And I was actually going to probably post something in the forum. I was thinking, like, just kind of, because, like, I'm really not sure what, what to do, really, for a beginning to end. And so what I was going to do is I was going to kind of run the gambit of Horus Heresy, like pre-Heresy color schemes. There's a lot of questions these days are about the pre-Heresy schemes. And so, yeah, so I've already started on one. Basically, it's because it's in relation to a quick tip question on getting the deep red for the armor. But then I might as well show, doing the shoulder pads, freehanding the icons, and then kick them off. And then pull in, say, a Death Guard. Doing the armor, shoulder pads, freehand the icons, go to the next one. Treat it kind of like quick tips where, it's basically each segment is just kind of just quickly how you to deal with those problem areas. And then maybe even like the weathering on some of them, things like that, like making them look kind of like what we see in the magazines and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I think that's it. I'll probably run that for a bit until either everybody gets bored of it or I get bored of it. But I mean, there's 20 chapters, right? So, that's quite a few vids to run through. That would run right till damn near summer anyway. If I was to do that, yeah. Because pretty much every week would be like, well, I guess every half week would be a Space Marine, really. because it'll be about maybe three or four videos per Space Marine. Anyway. Marcel Jakubek? First live show. Whoop. Well, I'm glad you can join us, Marcel. Let's do an email because Tolo said so. And I click the email button and it doesn't go. There we go. This is from Totem Lord. Hey, Kris. On episode 99, I mentioned putting together my first ever Dark Eldar models. This is the color scheme I came up with. What do you think? I also threw in some pictures of unpainted models because, well, I wanted to, and I can't think of a better reason. Also, I'm having trouble with what to do with the bases. Do you have any ideas? Thanks, Totem Lord. And so the Totem Lord sending us some pics of his models. And so here is his little, what are these, Skyblade or Hellions? Skyblade. Where did I get that from, Skyblade? I don't know. Anyway. I like the design on the blades. Coloring looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell, though, with the lighting, because it's kind of coming from the back here, and we got no front lighting. But, I mean, it looks pretty clean. Looks like you got some highlights and stuff like that going on. For the bases, you can leave them clear, or you can paint them up, basically like however you do the rest of your troops, I guess, really. Oh, here we go. Here's the front. Yeah, pretty good. I like it. I like the contrast. Like the dark elements here with the bodysuit. The light gray, excuse me. Holy crap. I like the contrast there with the dark gray of the bodysuit and or the black of the bodysuit and the dark gray of the armor plates. I dig it. Where the heck? How did it drop out there? His little skyboard, whatever the heck it's called, is nicely painted. Very cool. Yeah, doing the bases, like that, you can leave them clear, or you can paint them up like how you've done the rest of your Dark Eldar, or the other one is paint them up like whatever kind of gaming surface you're typically playing on. Now, if you're doing these, say, for example, for like a competition or something like that, where they're going to be standalone and, then you want something that, kind of goes along with the color scheme, right? And so with the black and the dark grays with that red, I would probably kind of go with a dried earth, kind of deserty kind of look, kind of those warm brown tones, right? Like a deserty kind of base, something like that. That would really kind of show off that color scheme. Dark Eldar. Witches with a little Tau Space Marine dude behind him. That's the one with the free-handed design on the back, right? You really need to send that to me. Totem Lord, you really need to send that Space Marine to me, please. Please. So yeah, if when you're doing bases, and I get this question a lot too, when you're painting the bases of your models, what colors do I do the bases? Well, you can, you do them typically to whatever kind of gaming surface. If these are gaming pieces, then you paint the bases to sort of match your gaming surface, right? If they're gaming pieces and you there's no kind of set kind of table you play on all the time, like maybe you go to games club and they got like 10 different tables, all different type of terrain. You want something kind of neutral, and that would be kind of grays and things like that, right? Going kind of gray earth or rocks or stuff like that, just so it stays kind of neutral. And if you were going for something along the lines of they're going for display or the standalone or something like that, then you want to go something that complements or coordinates with the color scheme of the model itself, and you want something that's going to bring the model to the forefront, right? And so something that's really contrasty like that, with those grays and the black with the red accents. Yeah, I was thinking something more like a dry earth, almost like if you took really the Zemeshi Desert, gave it an Agrax earth shade, and then dry brushed it with like a Ushabti bone or something like that. Give it that kind of dry earth kind of look. Something along those lines. You could also go with little greens, I suppose. I really wouldn't go with anything too textured, just because, you know, you got that really great detail in the models. I would go with something more flat and even on the base. But again, it's, you know, it's entirely up to you. Oh, back to the comments. Kenneth Savaldez? Sanguinor? Okay, Sanguinor. That's all he wrote, Sanguinor. I don't know. Dr. Xantos, 18 legions, 2 are unknown. Well, then I would make up 2. David Taylor, I really like that idea. We'll learn to see how to paint the Heresy Blood Angels. Yeah, because I imagine they're probably not bright red. They'll probably give them more of a deeper red. Prawn Hamden says, no, Dr. Xantos. Ravenfall's Imperial Fist. I despise them so much. They always crush my nids. Parker Gray, I love some Emperor's Children. Some Emperor's Children? Or all Emperor's Children? We love all Emperor's Children. Yeah, the color scheme for Emperor's Children is actually really cool. You know, it's that nice deep purple with the gold. And it's white accents, I believe. White accents, yeah. Kind of like, what the heck is the other chapter? It's post-heresy. It's Soul Drinkers? Yeah, Soul Drinkers from the books. And their color scheme is that purple and gold. I like that. If anybody's never read those books, they're pretty cool. They're pretty good. They're pretty good how like a chapter can slide into chaos kind of thing, not realizing that they're falling to chaos. That's not for that. All right. Where are we? Oh, crap. Comments popping in. Naglaraf, hello. Hello, monkeys. Prawn Hamden said, Kris, quick tip series ideas. 3 versions of each legion. Oh, man, that's 3 versions of each legion. Like, are you talking like painting the color scheme in 3 different ways using the same colors? Or are you talking about using different techniques to paint the same legion 3 different ways? Whoa, head almost exploded there. Yeah, you'd have to kind of elaborate on that, I think, at Prawn. So I'm not 100% sure what you mean on that one. Kenneth, when you asked about what you should do for the next start to finish, I should have clarified. Oh, Sanguinor. You were saying Sanguinor. Gotcha. Sanguinor. Gotcha. I'd have to order it, wait for it to come in, and then start. And so that, ooh, man, that could be almost a month out before you'd see those videos. David Taylor, which one's turquoise? Horus? Turquoise? Yeah, it's kind of a turquoise. Like, you see some of the Sons of Horus stuff, they have like a really kind of deeper kind of green, or they have that green turquoise kind of teal almost look to them, you know? Teal? No, not quite teal, but, you know, they have that deeper kind of blue-green to them. Almost like Alpha Legion, almost. But not to the extreme where the green is at the edges or anything like that. Prawn Hamdens, both. Oh, man, that's a lot of work on one Space Marine. Like, showing, say for example, showing an airbrush, showing a typical kind of layering process, and then showing a blended process. Man, I'd go bananas by the time I was done the 2nd chapter. I mean, like, I'm sure people would really kind of benefit from something like that. But yeah, I think I'd probably go binoculars. I'd probably go bonkers if I had to go through all the chapters like that, doing 3 different versions of the same color scheme. Yeah, I'd probably go blind and bonkers. Let's do another email real quick. This is from Legion Painting. Oh, our buddy Legion Painting. I don't have any pictures, but can. You can just look up Zombicide Prison Outbreak, because the Berserkers have scales of weird sickly green color. Tell me how to do that well. I'm also going to use you as a public question. Does anyone have Zombicide and would play it over Google Hangouts? If you were just Add me at Legion Payton. Yeah, cheers, dog. I'm not familiar with the how the zombicide models are done. So really, I'm not gonna look right now. So I don't want anything to break. But I meant like in the vault, I have a whole whack ton of videos on doing zombie flesh, blood and guts, and there's some other ones I have. There's a bunch on zombies and undead and stuff like that. So if it's for zombies and stuff like that, yeah, you'll find the videos. David Taylor, in general, do more people view brush or airbrush quick tips? Probably it's butt can, binoculars. I know, that's what he said, butt can. I was like, what's a butt can? Sorry, David. In general, do more people view the brush or airbrush quick tips? I think everything pretty much gets a similar amount of views. I noticed we had posted a video from oh crap, I forgot what the young fella's name is. From Cold Table Painting, he made a painting tutorial, and he used the airbrush quite a bit in the video. And I noticed like a lot of the comments, especially on YouTube, really kind of venomous type comments. But everybody's kind of poo-pooing his use of the airbrush. I'm like, well, that's what a lot of people do. And I mean, the guy is a commissioned painter, so I mean, he is going to use the airbrush a lot. He's going to use a tool that he knows well to get the effects that he knows how to achieve, right? So I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I suppose, and a little bit more, I don't even know what the word is, snooty towards airbrushing, as it was kind of like a cheating kind of thing. But as I've grown and matured, realized that airbrushing, there's a whole bunch of crap that goes along with airbrushing. Not to mention that it's expensive as well, but I mean, there's a lot there that you have to get through, to learn and to master. And so the airbrushing is just a tool like anything else. It is easier to achieve some effects, but there's a lot of things that airbrushing doesn't do very well. Or you have to really master the thing and have a really precise airbrush, and it's a pain. It's all a pain. Gray Parker, you should do Ildelon? I don't know. Who is that? Start to finish, anyway. Ildelon? I can't even say the name. Ildelon. Anyway. I don't know who that is. You have to tell me, Parker. Is for, am I a bit too late? Am I only a bit late? No, you're not a bit late. Well, it's 24 after, so actually, yeah, you're kind of late. Because you missed a quarter of the show. Dan. Hi, Kris. Hi, Dan. All in caps. Dan. Who is it? It's Dan. David Taylor. Yeah, I didn't watch all of it since I use Brushmore. Yeah, I mean, like I watched it, everything like that. Well, because I mean, I was kind of evaluating like the product, not so much what he was doing, but and I mean, like it does seem like a lot of people do, like we kind of flip flop. Like there's points where people getting into the hobby or at whatever point of the hobby they're at. And if I'm producing a lot of like brush videos where I'm doing layering or I'm doing wet blending, people go, well, can you do that in airbrushing? Can you show that in airbrushing? Okay, and then I show it in airbrushing. Oh, what's with all these airbrushing videos? Why don't you show us some paint, like using brush videos? So then I go back to using brush videos, and it's the can't please everybody all the time kind of thing. So, what do you do? I like this name. Captain Cool Pants 101. How much have I missed? You've missed only about 25 minutes. And, we've already given out some sound advice already. So you've missed some sound advice. You'll have to come back later and replay. Steve Cox, we should call this episode Painting 101 because of the episode number. No, we're not going to do that. I already have a Painting 101 series in the vault. And it's one I think really should stand alone from like all the other videos, because I think it'd be a lot more beneficial for a lot of the new people getting into this hobby, and easier for them to find that series, because again, I pretty much go over everything from, terminologies, color theory, tools, brushes, brush cares, brush techniques and stuff like that. I go over everything that a beginner would need to know, so that when they go onto other forums and watch other videos and they listen to other painters talk about a particular thing they're doing, at least they know what they're talking about, right? And yeah, so it's basically, I guess, not quite a glossary, but it's a 101. It's an introduction to painting, and it's I was quite pleased with the end result with it. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to move that to a separate area, or make a much more prominent thing of it, I think. Kenneth Savaldes, question: when highlighting a model to give the effect of cold environment, any tips? I've tried several methods, but none to my liking. Yeah, that's a tough one, Ken. Because to illustrate something cold, you have to have it's like if you just have the model, okay, and it's a gaming piece, so you're just gonna be playing on tables and stuff like that, and he's his base has got snow and stuff, and he's got a little bit of snow dripped on him and stuff like that, and you're playing on a desert table. It doesn't quite fit, right? It's hard to sell the fact that he's covered in snow. Versus if it was a diorama and you had, the snow all over the place, the entire thing's covered in snow, and you had like things all, in ice and, stuff like that, that really sells the winter theme, right? Or that the model itself is on a big enough base that you can kind of sell icicles and patches of snow and things like that. But painting it onto the model itself, there are a few ways you can go about that. You can do it like a light dusting of pigments, and just on the top surfaces, or allow like white pigment to like build up and let that become your snow. Another one is you can mix them with glue and take your you could take something like, say, I'm breaking stuff now. Like I take baking soda and mix it with glue, apply it to the base, or the model itself. You can do it as well, because when it dries hard, and it looks like a little lumpy piece of snow, kind of like half melted snow. But like, I remember a question a while ago, and I wasn't sure how to address it either, was creating that, when frost, it gets kind of like that, like almost like spiky look on a surface, creating that kind of look on a model. And that's very challenging because of scale, right? Like when you see something that should be covered in it in movies and things like that, and you see the surface, I'm thinking of like the one thing I'm thinking of is like Day After Tomorrow. Lots of cold elements in that movie. Lots of like seeing different things and covered in snow and ice and frost, right? So when you're looking at something at a distance, you can see the discoloration. So the coloring itself should give you an indication that it's cold, right? So if you had something like, say, red armor, was it red armor? The color would become very desaturated if it was under frost, right? And then you could have little white things in the recesses, like looking like frost. But having it look like, exactly like that spiky kind of frost, that's very challenging. And I think that would rely on some sort of chemical that could give you that effect. But doing it by paintbrush or anything like that, no, it's got to be some sort of additive or some sort of material that you can put onto the model, and that would give you that kind of spiky. Because I was thinking, like, what if you used like the snow flock, right? Which essentially is just the static grass. It's just dyed white, and you put that on a model. But you'd have to chop that up really, really fine, and then to get the perfect layering, you would have to use the the way they it's like a little electrolysis where they make the static grass fall right way up, and you'd have to do that to the surface to get that kind of that spiky kind of look. But otherwise, yeah, it's a tough one. And it really dependent upon, your, like what you're doing it for. Like if you're doing it for a diorama, relatively straightforward. If you're doing it just for, your tabletop troops, especially if you're only ever going to be playing on a snow table, then, okay, that's fine. But yeah, if you're going to be going to like tournaments and stuff like that, and you're playing on different tables, the effect might get lost, and you're like, Anyway. Prawn Hamdens. The airbrush is the future. Soon the show will be renamed Way of the Airbrush. No, not even. No, because for me, there's nothing more satisfying than the paintbrush. There's something about the tactile sensation of applying the brush and feeling the bristles move across the surface, and it really becomes apparent when you're painting on canvas, and you take the paint and you paint on canvas, and that's what I prefer to do. Is the canvas. Where am I? Dr. Xantos Eldelon is the commander of the Emperor's Children. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I see. The thing is, though, is like to get to any of these characters that we don't have around, we'd have to wait until Forge World sends it, and then get it ready, and then start painting. So I mean, it takes a bit, right? I mean, I suppose I could just order them and start working on them anyway, but I guess I don't know. Dr. Cool Pants 101. I like vegetables. Good for you, buddy. That's right, buddy. Dr. Xantos, he's quite sick of looking at looking jetpack though. Oh, he has quite a sick looking jetpack though. Okay. James Sailors. Just wanted to stop by and say thank you. I like listening to your vids while painting. Well, thank you, James. Prawn Hamdens at Captain. No. Raven Falls. How to train your Mupeltash. Mupeltash 101. How to train your Mupeltash. Dan. I have an airbrush, but use the brush as well when painting. You cannot use the airbrush to do the whole mini like the Infinity ones. Right, exactly. Like the airbrush is just a tool. It's not the end all be all painting. A lot of people seem to think, one particular brush technique is the end all be all painting. And like dry brushing. Dry brushing is a noob technique. That's not the case. It's just a technique. They all have to be mastered. GS squared 7. I think electrolysis is for hair removal. Yeah, it's not. I can't remember if it's electrolysis, but you know what I mean. Like you guys must have seen the static grass where you load them into the little hopper and it's got the little electrode, like little electric mesh, and then you just put your grounding wire on the surface of what you're going to work on, and then the static grass always lands points up, right? So I can't remember if it's electrolysis or whatever it's called, but yeah, okay. Kenneth, thanks, Chris. Have a good one. All right, Dan, Chris, have you seen some stuff from Painting Buddha? Yes, I have seen some stuff from Painting Buddha. Alice Dare Bennett, hey Chris, I've been watching your videos and DVDs for a while. You basically taught me how to paint. Well, thank you, but I can't figure out what it is you paint on. Also, I'm from the Sioux. What I paint on. You can't figure out what I paint on. You mean the little thing that I'm holding for the miniatures? Is that what you mean? Or you mean like what I'm putting the paint onto? Like I'm using as a palette? Jim White. It's called electrostatic attraction. There you go. Thank you. The thing I'm painting... Okay, well... The way it works for the videos, when I'm doing the tutorials, is I have that green cutting mat, and it's really just kind of a backdrop, really, because I have a big pane of glass that takes up the entire view of the camera. Even when I'm zoomed away, it's basically a window pane of glass that I have sitting on my desk, and I use that as the palette. Only because if I was to use, say, like a white palette, that would throw the white balance off on the screen, or any other bright kind of colors or anything like that. So I just use the neutral green because it doesn't seem to affect the white balance, and it's a very neutral kind of desaturated kind of green color. A gray would also work as well as that backdrop. But I use the glass as my palette, so I lay the paint down, and so that everybody can kind of see what it is, the process that I'm doing. I don't show a wet palette in my videos, although most of the time when I do sit down and paint my miniatures, I use a wet palette. But otherwise, it's just for video. It's just for illustration, and just for scenery is what it is, really. As far as what the models are attached to when I'm holding on to, well, that's just one of these little guys. And yeah, I think we'll probably be selling these at some point. I think we'll probably be selling these through the mini wargaming store. But it's just one of these little pedestals. I just hold them. These are custom designed by me and cast, and each one is handcrafted by me. And basically, you just take your sticky tack and you put your model, and this will take everything from 30 mil all the way up to medium size or Terminator sized bases on this side, and this side can take a large base, like from War Machine. It'll take a large base like that, and so yeah. So yeah, that's essentially it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what you meant there, but I. Jim White, episode 101, the tactile pleasure of painting. Well, you don't have to make it all sound all pervy like that, Although, it is a bit of a sensual experience. Anyway, Thomas Rasmussen. Anyway, hello, monkeys. Sorry, I'm late. Did I miss anything? No, not a thing. Just been chatting, talking, getting to know each other a little bit better. Lee Welton, painting Buddha, BAC Space Marine tutorials are so good. BAC Space Marine. What's a BAC? I don't know what BAC means. Yeah, painting Buddha, their videos are really, really top quality. And the thing is, though, is it's 4 guys who make those videos. That's 4 guys producing that one video. Whereas my videos, it's me. I film it. I edit it. If I want any fancy effects in it, I gotta make them. So, yeah. A little bit of a difference. Totem Lord just got here. What'd I miss? Nothing, Totem Lord. Oh, I read your email, Totem. It said that it was my first email, so you'll probably have to go back there and check it out, because I'm not going to reiterate what I said there. And I couldn't even remember. David Taylor, you need to do behind the scenes. There is a behind the scenes somewhere in the vault. Somewhere in the vault, there is a behind the scenes on like what my workstation looks like, and for how I film and how to film, and basically, because the way I do tutorials, it's pretty basic, and anybody can do it. Anybody can make painting tutorials the way I do painting tutorials. Now, if somebody like painting Buddha, where they have 3 cameras on the go, right? They have one looking at the model, they have one looking at the painter, and they have one looking at the palette. Very, very good stuff. Lots of effort. Again, like I said, it's 4 people working on per video. So that's a lot of resource. That's a lot of man hours, to produce each video. And, it's a lot of work. Whereas mine, it's work, but it's not, outside my realm of getting them done quickly. Plus, I produce 2 videos a day. Quick tips. You can show that stuff pretty quick, and, it's basically just answering your question as quickly as possible and as concise as I can be. But, yeah. Alice Dare, thanks for explaining. No problem. David Taylor, I want one. One what? Prawn ham nuts. Ooh, there's silky bags now. Yeah. So I had to get packaging for these things. Oh, is this what you're talking about, Dave? You want one of these ones? Yeah, well, because like last time I done the giveaways, right? I had given 2 of these away, and along with some DVDs as well, right? Whereas now I have this is the packaging I decided on. Now I haven't decided whether or not I was going to put like a logo on them or anything, or just pretty much just move them like this. I think just like this is pretty much all you need. The little baggies kind of nice and stuff like that. And I mean, the handle itself, I mean, it's designed to get beat up and paint all over and all sorts of stuff. It's not meant to be like a display pin or anything like that. You could if you wanted, but it's not what its intention is. It's for everybody with them big meat hooks for hands, and yeah. Raven Falls, take my money. Thomas, crispy bags. Kurt Kershon, I've been talking about those for a while. The mini holders. I've been using size 30 corks. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. And I mean, like there are plenty of options out there. I'm these aren't getting marketed as some advanced technology that will make you a far better painter, but I will say that using a handle to hold your models will make you a better painter, more comfortable painter. Captain Cool Pants 101, handcrafted, you say? We all need to buy like 10,000 of these and then cancel our orders. That'd be mean. That would be mean. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you buy 10,000 and then make 10,000 and I'm sitting on 10,000 of these things? That's mean. Thomas, the butcher strikes again. Why? Because I messed up your last name? Well, what is it? Rasmussen? Rasmussen? Oh, I don't know. I'm getting a headache. Noble Wizard, Kris, are you working on any projects at the moment? At the moment, no, I'm talking to you. At the moment, what am I working on? Well, I've got my X-Wing. I still have my X-Wing to finish. I got to do all the weathering and stuff like that. I already got some of the decals, or decals, or transfers, if you will, on there. Yeah. I just started doing the weathering here, and I got to also do like there's other color elements along the nose here. I think I'm going to redo the frame on the cockpit, but you can see the little Benum inside there, and he's all painted in there. And I actually had to do the transfers, the Rebel Alliance symbol, the tiny little transfer, and I had to put them on the helmet. If I could get like a close enough picture of it, I'll show it, but yeah, wicked tiny. And of course, I got one of these yesterday from Matt and Dave. He's so cute and adorable. Oh no, he's starting up. Or maybe not. He sits there and he just talks. And he rolls around. But yeah, as far as projects go, no. Oh, also, I have some War Machine figures I'm working on. I finally got my hands on a, what is his name? Everybody calls him Dr. Nick. He's for the Steelheads. And I've been meaning to get him done so I can give him a shot and try him out. Because I usually play my Steelheads in a nice big brick. And I think having him in there, making everybody tough, make that even worse. Thomas, it's Danish. Rasmussen? Last try was spot on. Rasmussen? I'm just going to say Thomas. Armor Freak. I see Babylon 5 model. Yeah, my Babylon 5 model. I've had this model for a long time, and it was just sitting like kind of, I did it like it was just bare metal, like it was all just kind of dry brush metal, and then I came back in and did it with the grays, and then I still got to put the squad number on, But this is basically a fighter from the last stand. Is that what they call it? The last stand? No, Battle of the Line. That's it. Battle of the Line. Like I know my Babylon 5 lore or not, all right? So anyway, I was thinking of doing this like Sinclair's fighter, but I was thinking about popping the canopy off because it's just lightly glued on there, and then redoing the inside of the cockpit in more red tones so that it looks like the ambient red light inside, because otherwise you can kind of just barely see there's a pilot inside there. Let's see if I can get some light playing inside there. Yeah, you can see. There we go. You can see there's a pilot inside. And so, yeah, and also weathered the stripes on the top there. You can see how it looks kind of like they're chipped and, kind of worn away from, space dust or what have you. Also drilled at the barrels of the quad guns or whatever the heck they are. So, yeah. Eventually, I'll get him done too. And of course, I also have my TIE fighter back there as well, and it's not done either. And I still want to pick up the other things too. Totem Lord Kris, thanks for the advice on the basis. No problem, Totem Lord. Prawn Ham Dan said, Kris, I think you should tell. You should sell a deluxe with a brush experience. XP. I don't know. Way the brush experience should sell a deluxe way the brush experience. What does that mean? You have to elaborate, Prawn. I'm not sure I understand. Oh, there he goes on to explain. Experience. Painting handle, painted glass, fake movable stash, and travel mug for $75. Travel mug. There we go. It's all about branding, right? It's all about branding. Don't you dare shoot me. You will pay a horrible... You strike me down, I shall come back as more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Don't you dare. I will... Son, I will whip your ass. Quit pointing that gun at me. Quirk here, think he's funny. Smarten up, boy. Do it. Pull the trigger. Okay, see what kind of man you are. Pull the trigger. Oh, you son of a... I can hear him running for it. I can hear him running down the building. What a dumbass. Anyway, Captain Cool Pants. Do you have to do something special weathering on that ship because there's no atmosphere in space and such, or am I just being too literal? No, like weathering on, like you'd imagine like space dust, right? Because like in Babylon 5, right, there's no shields on the ships, so you'd imagine like space debris and things like that would hit the paint job and knock decals and dents and knock dents into the ship. So it's not difficult to imagine in that sense. And even in Star Wars, right? Star Wars, all the ships have like exhaust fumes and all sorts of all sorts of weathering on them, really. Jim White, episode 101, the deluxe experience. Yeah, Noble Wizard. Yeah, it was Dave Quirk. Quirk thinks he's funny. He's not. Armor Freak, I missed that show. Yeah, I missed the show too. The Mobius. Is it Babylon 5 where they find an artifact in hyperspace and then plug it in? It's a giant battery and aliens come out? Yeah. That was like one of the kind of made for TV movie episodes. Yeah. The Mobius said, Kris, could you let me know how long it takes for a varnish to dry from an airbrush? Well, I know the Minotaur one, the gloss varnish. I know that one seems to take for a while. Like you have to leave it like an hour. But like I've used like Vallejo's gloss, and it doesn't take that long. I've used most of the time though when I'm doing gloss varnishing, I use Future floor polish, and I use that on the models, and I build that up in small layers as I go, right? But it usually only takes like a minute or two for it to dry, and then I come back in, put another quick layer in, let it dry, and then come back in, put another layer, and I build it up until it looks almost like glass on the surface. Yeah, it's lots of fun. It's a little bit of work, but it's fun, and it looks cool. The Mobius, I like to gloss than matte. Yeah, all depends. I see. Like when I varnish though, like when I'm going to go with a gloss or varnish or semi-gloss, I always do it for effect, right? Like a lot. If you ever see like a lot of my Eldar stuff, that are very shiny because it feels like a slick kind of like Ferrari kind of fire engine red kind of stuff, fast and and then when you go with matte, that's always kind of like cloth and things like that. You want to have a matte kind of finish to it. Although Space Marines, you guess you can go either way, really. Space Marines kind of look kind of funny, though, when they are really kind of super glossy. Like, everything about them is glossy. Versus, say, the main shoulder pads, things like that. But also, too, I mean, like, if you have battle damage on your Space Marine and stuff like that, then, yeah, you probably want to do just a matte varnish on them. Is for Kris, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Jim White, episode 101, rated PG-13. Yeah, it was Quirk, yeah. Yeah, it was Quirk. Captain Cool Pants just witnessed a perfectly executed bullet dodge. No, he nicked me right up in the collarbone. It'd still be a flesh wound, but he got me up by the collarbone. Raven Falls, I guess that was for the photo you posted on Facebook. Quirk wasn't happy. Never mind, I still got other pictures Quirk wouldn't be happy about. I'm not really going to elaborate here, but yeah, I should post some of them. This is video too. I've got video as well. Just kind of silly kind of stuff. Anyway, let's do an email. Let's do an email. This is from Parker Gray. Hi, Kris. Thanks for all your help in your videos. I'm trying to figure out how to paint purples for the Emperor's Children army. I've seen lots of reviews and tutorials, but none of them give me... This thing moves on. That give me the same look as the models on the Forge World website. What are your suggestions to accomplish this? Attached below is my attempt. Thank you, Parker. Okay, so here's his attempt. It's a big old picture. Is it just the one picture? I think it's just the one picture. Okay, so let's click it. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So. Now, it looks like you're starting off with a Gene Stealer purple? Or are you starting off with... No, what's the really dark purple? Is it Xerxes purple? Shut up, robot. Xerxes purple and Nagrath, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, I had to grab my colors there. Everybody wondering where the hell I went. Okay. So with those purples, I would start off with, to get a nice deep purple, I would start off with the Nagrath Knight, and then start highlighting it with Xerxes purple. And then with like a final small smidge little edge highlight of Gene Stealer purple. Or just adding white simply to the Xerxes purple. Xerxes? Xerxes? Is it just Xerxes? I don't know. I can't read. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, Rogmos. In a nutshell, essentially, that's what I do. I mean, nice clean painting, by the way, there. I mean, that looks really good. Nice and clean, like you work on the fabric. But the purple, yeah, the purple feels a little flat. And so I would say you start off, okay, with Nagrath Knight, right? You start off with some of that. And then you come in with Xerxes purple, or Xerxes purple, whatever, right? You can see it's a nice little shade below. And then, of course, a nice little edge highlight, just a tiny little edge, like you're talking like the top of the raised surfaces, right? With Gene Stealer purple, and that's that really kind of bright purple on the end here. And then if you're not entirely happy with that, you can always take Druchii Violet, thin it down just a little bit, and apply a glaze, drawing it towards the darker side of the scheme, and you can basically blend all those layers of purple in together, and make something there. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not 100% sure on how they go about doing the Forge World color scheme. I'd have to look at it and then basically try and emulate what they've done. But otherwise, yeah, And it looks like you're working on top of a black primer, which is not bad. It's fine because I mean the Nagarath Night is fairly dark, and it sits on top of that black fairly well. So yeah, I would do that. I would start off with a base of Nagarath Night, and then slowly build your highlights up with the Xerxes purple, and then just a small edge highlight on with Gene Stealer purple. Just a small edge on it, not much. Just a tiny little bit, just a scooch. Okay, so where are we in these comments here? The Mobius said, Chris, oops, I had been waiting 24 hours. Huh? Raven Falls, feel no pain, 2+. Tolo, cough, email, cough. Shut up. I just like giving Tolo grief like that. Captain Cool Pants is 101. Naked selfies. Whoa. Oh, naked selfies? No. Although I'm sure on his phone he probably does. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if he did have naked selfies on his phone. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest. He seems a bit like a weirdo like that. Bronham then said, Chris, I'm sure you could green screen something incriminating for a quirk too. Oh, I could. Totally. Photoshop? Yeah. Especially where pictures where he has a surprised look on his face. Like, you know, it'd be easy. It'd be totally easy. Parker Gray. Oh, Parker Gray's right here. Thanks, Chris. Yeah. So, with the purples, yeah, if you're starting off with the black, I would go with Nagarath Night and then build up your highlights with the Xerxes purple, staying nice and rich, and then just a little bit of that Gene Stealer purple, just along the edges, just like at the corners of things, right? Just a tiny little bit. And then even if you want to add a little bit of white to that, just get a little bit more. And then hit that with a glaze of Druchii Violet. And then that'll bring all those highlight and transitions together. Yeah. I would say try that. African Wise Man, I'm late, damn it. Hey, monkeys. Monkeys. Ross Dealey, monkeys. Plasma painting, no, I missed the first hour. Oh, well, at least I made it. Well, at least you made it. At least. Whoa, here's some math. Ross Dealey, 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 plus is 2 plus feel no pain? What? Are you saying that a 2 plus armor save and a 2 invulnerable save is better than a 2 plus and a feel no pain? Is that what you're saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? I'm also toughness 10. Oh. Or are you saying you have a 2 plus armor with a 2 plus invulnerable save with a 2 plus feel no pain? Ah, that's what he's saying. Gotcha. Because he's toughness 10. With feel no pain. Shut up. Captain Cool Pants probably painted his winky green to look like a little orc. It's more like a Gretchen. Noble Wizard, Chris, do you have any tips for painting cloth? Sure. What do you want to know? Painting cloth? Geez, there's a few ways you go about it. Because, okay, say for example, like the tabard on a Space Marine, right? Like the cloth, the loincloth thing hangs down. That's typically you're just highlighting, the foremost parts of each of the folds, leaving the recesses in back. Now, typically, whenever people are doing these kind of things, I notice they tend to go with like the darkest color first and build the color all the way up. It's not entirely necessary. You can start off with, say if you're going to do it white, start it off, say, with like Administratum Gray. Okay? Or, yeah, you could go, I guess, with Uthran Gray too, but I would go with let's say either or. Gray. Bang. Foremost edges or faces of like each of the folds of cloth, you paint with white. You take a little bit of non-oil or you take a little bit of black, thin it down, and then paint it inside the inside creases, and you're done. And you really didn't have to do too much there and to get a fairly convincing fold. Because you're going with the thinned out black. I mean, you can also go in and say with like Eshin Gray, thin down a bit and apply it into the deep recesses. And that way it'd give you some, nice texture and depth. Another way of highlighting cloth would be to take your very detailed brush and apply like little kind of hashtag marks, cross hatching. You just take a line, just run it, take another line crossway, and just kind of tic-tac-toe, your way around. And, that'll give you the impression of threads on that surface, right? So, that's another way as well. So hopefully that kind of helps. Tolo, get to my email. Cough, cough. Cough, cough. Yeah, I'll get there, I suppose. Tolo, by the way, is there a Boxing Day episode next week? No, there will not be a Way of the Brush next week. Sorry, but I'm sure we're going to all be busy anyway. There are probably like 2 people watching, so as opposed to the other 10 people that are watching. Prawn Hamden said, Kris, just playing around with the ghost tints. If I want to go back in after tinting, should I seal first or reshade, highlight, then seal? No, seal first. After you lay your ghost tints down, no matter what else you're going to do next, seal it. Now, it doesn't have to be a heavy, heavy seal. Doesn't have to, don't over seal the model, because then you're just going to end up obscuring detail and stuff like that. But just, lay a nice even seal down on that model, and then you can come back and lay other colors. Because I've found that the colors, they reactivate and, mix with other layers and stuff like that. At least in my experience. Ross Dealey. Another email, mate? Another email? Yeah, let's do another email. Why not? This is from Manuel Fernandez. I just wanted to ask if you would like to be on my new show. I'm going to re-interview everyone I did in the past, and I'm calling it 5+ Questions to a Model Maker. Where are they now? I'm starting next year, so if you want to do it, please email me back on a different note. Thank you for all your videos you've done. I've learned a lot from you. I guess I probably shouldn't have read this one, because this was kind of more of a not Way of the Brush type question. Okay, this is from Brass Sprocket. This is one of my better attempts at painting. Is there anything you'd recommend to make it better? Sorry for the low quality image. Well, make it better? I don't know about making it better, because it's kind of hard to see if there's anything going on there that, you did need to be doing, or you shouldn't be doing, or, anything like that. But judging from this picture, I mean, it looks like paint's in the areas you want it. It doesn't look like it's applied messy or anything like that, but again, it's kind of hard to tell from the photo. The white seems to be really abrupt. You might want to throw, say, Agrax Earthshade closer to where, the end of the nail is, where it meets the main body. Just, to give it a bit of grit, give it a bit of, texture and, bit of life, especially in the teeth. The teeth feel just kind of, like you just come back from the dentist or something like that, right? So, yeah, and I mean, with the main body itself in just solid red like that, you could try and do maybe a little bit of dry brushing or, highlighting things like that. If you're very comfortable doing your base colors, and because it looks pretty even and smooth, and you don't have too many colors going on. You got that main red of the body. You have the little bit of the blue purple going on. I don't know what color that is. I don't know if it's blue or purple. And then you have the green accents from the little venom sacs or whatever they are, I suppose. But so far, I would say just taking the white down to more of a bone color, because like he looks like he just come back from the dentist and his teeth are all nice pearly white. I think a little bit of grime to it, right? Just Agrax Earthshade, just on that, create some separation. Leave a little bit more Agrax, like a darker color, up by the gum line, and like the big mandibles, leaving a little bit darker color where it meets up with the main mandible, things like that, right? Just to give you a little bit more texture, a little bit more depth, a little bit more visual interest. Should be all you really kind of need. Sorry, we're just getting ready for the next one here. Where are we? Noble Wizard. I might try stippling for the cloth. Yeah, stippling is another one. Yeah, stippling is another great example of, creating texture, right? Like, do you want that? Do you want that cloth to feel like like it's smooth, like it's a really tight weave, or do you want it to feel kind of rough, like it has a texture to it? It looks almost like a wool sweater kind of thing, or yeah. And stippling is another great way to do it. Stippling, blending, layering. Like sky's the limit. It's all up here as to what you want to present, what kind of feeling you want to present. Because, for example, stippling might be a really great way of doing the cloth, because say, for example, you're doing a Space Marine. Space Marine's armor tends to be very smooth, and then you do the cloth that has like a bit of texture to it, and that creates a nice visual interest on the model itself. So, yeah. Raven Falls, a High Fleetwood Dental, sign me up. Yeah. I don't know why everybody's laughing at the thing. I don't know. GS Squared, I would watch on Boxing Day. Yeah, but no. In fact, we may. I have to look at the calendar. We may not have another Way the Brush till the new year. And yes, I'm serious about that. Come on, no, this is, oh my god. Stupid bloody Windows. Doesn't it have a calendar? There's no calendar. Oh, there's a calendar. No, I don't want to. Oh, God, go away. Oh, screw it. I'm not playing with the calendar. No, I'm not doing that. It'll just aggravate me, annoy me, and generally cause me pain. A High Fleetwood Dental sign up? Yeah. That'd be awesome. But I wonder how much a dentist would charge to do a Tyranid. Especially like, if you had like a Ripper Swarm, right? And you had all those little teeth. What does it cost you? Because I know, going to the vet, it's a pain in the ass. They charge a lot for a vet. Prawn Hamdens, did a plate stop spinning? No, not quite. I don't think so. Everything's still going, I think. No, the calendar wanted me to add some thing. I don't know. I'm not doing it. Raven Falls, no, I want to get one more episode before I leave for the army. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy, but not going to happen. African Wiseman, Kris, if I came to Canada, can I challenge you to a game also? Or you don't do that anymore? No more mingling with the plebes. Hey, what's that about? Yeah, if you want to play me a game, sure. Go ahead. Say, I want to play Kris a game. I want to, take on Chris's Eldar and play him the most cheesiest game possible, where we'll fight to the death. Yeah. But you got to say all that, though. Yeah, please, sure. I don't mind. Because I'm usually a little ways ahead in my videos, so I can, forego a bit of time and, do something. Which is nice because it's a nice break from painting. This week, Cork and Steve wanted images for their reroll. So, got those all done for them. It was kind of fun, kind of nice. Had a bit of fun with it. Wasn't sure which direction to go for the style for those things, but kind of came with something a little bit flash, but oh well. Aquaman Raw. With all the Star Wars hype, I want to pick up some decent quality Star Wars minis. Any suggestions? No, I'm not even sure. Prawn Hamdens, Fantasy Flight Imperial Assault. There you go. Yeah, those models actually look pretty darn cool. What Prawn Hamdens said. Fantasy Flight Imperial Assault. There you go. Yeah, because it doesn't even have an ATST in the miniatures as well. That's cool. I wonder if they'll do an AT-AT. I wonder. Thomas, next Saturdays are the 26th, 2nd, and 9th. We might be able to do the 2nd. I'll probably still be alive after the 1st, unless I've gone into some sort of coma from the 1st. But otherwise, yeah, probably the 2nd. Yeah, we'll probably just take the break and come back on the 2nd, I think. Armor Freak, can I bring my Tau up for the cheesiest of all games? Why? Yes, you could. Now, are we talking like no holds barred, unbound type of gameplay? And let's play like 3,000 points. Because if that's the case, then you know what I'll bring. No, you don't. Dave Taylor, cheesy games like Strip Warhammer. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know if you ever want to see a game of Strip Warhammer because, I mean, from our local meta, there's nothing there we want to see. And I'm sure your local meta, there's probably nothing you want to see there. So I'm not sure anybody wants to play Strip 40K. I'm not sure it'll work. I don't know. I don't think you want it to work. I think that's why you can't figure it out to work because you don't want it. Your brain saying, no, you don't want to. You don't want to know. Armor Freak. I need to find a way to model tiny Velveeta cans to my Fire Warriors. Dr. Xantos, I just remembered that I've got the Imperial Assault 2. Probably should play it someday. Probably should play it too. Should play it someday. Probably should play it too. Okay. Raven Falls, wow, 2 episodes. Wow, 2 episodes. Huh? Ross Dealey spam piranhas with 2 seekers each and fusion blasters, marker light the target. With any luck, you'll be hitting on 2D, strength D, no cover. And that's how I roll. Yeah, but 2 little piranhas? Piranhas? Come on. You know, okay, you want to try and out D Eldar. Is that what you're saying? You want to try and out D Eldar? That's crazy talk. Out D Eldar. You cannot out D Eldar. Eldar bring all the D. They bring the milkshakes as well. African Wise Man. Awesome. I definitely will be making a plan. Hopefully, beginning of next year. You guys also really close to Niagara, right? Do some sightseeing on my travels. Oh, yes. African Wise Man. Yeah, we're like 20 minutes from the falls. So if you have a significant other and you want to make a trip and say, oh, you know what, Niagara Falls, honeymoon, come on. And then it's like, well, you want to go shopping? Okay, I'll go shopping. I'll take a quick drive. And you're off to mini wargaming, you know? So, yeah. That's usually the way it works. That's how everybody weasels their way in here. Armor Freak, we could. I do have Piranha's Supremacy Armor and Riptides. Oh my. Yeah, well, quit talking. Bring it. I'm saying bring it. I'm just going to tell everybody now, bring it. Isvor, the Dark Eldar in me picked up on Strip 40K. Ooh. Dr. Santos, Damnation. I meant to say I need to paint it and someday play it. Oh, okay. Rainfall is 2 episodes till I leave. Oh, okay. Isvor, and then I struck the Eldar down in the club so that he would stick in his universe and stay out of mine. Oh. Okay. Prawn Hamden, a cheesy sausage spam fest. Yeah, exactly. Come on. Ross Dealey, I have like 6 of them. Sure. Yeah. Riptides? Yeah, it was Riptides. Ross Dealey, I could out D Kris. Jim White, episode 101, you can't out D. Yeah, you can't out D the Eldar. You can't. Everything. Okay, first of all, we have an elite choice that automatically just starts bringing D weapons. We have heavy choices that have D weapons. And then everything that is like apocalypse scale is D. It's all D. All our super heavy tanks, D. Super heavy walkers, D. Super heavy flyers, D. What else? Oh yeah, we even got flyers, and we got little small flyers too that have D weapons. We got tons of D. We bring all the D. Plasma painting. Someday when I get more models, I would like to challenge you, Kris. I know everybody wants to challenge me. Everybody talks a tough game. So God, kick your ass. I'll kick your ass. Let's bring it. Bring it. You know, it's like if we're gonna throw down real fisticuffs, then yeah, you're gonna get the D. You're gonna learn today. Let's do an email. This is from White Wolf. Hey Kris. First, I would like to say I love watching Way the Brush. Here is the pictures of my world eaters in their blue and white before the blood red. I'm wondering if you think there is too much blood splatter, or just right, as was worried when putting it on and doing clean paint. Never tried doing an action posed model. I look forward to hearing back from you. Many thanks, White Wolf 14 Alex. PS. Hope the photos are clear enough. And so let's see if his photos are clear enough. Here's Karn, the betrayer. It's a lot of blood. Is it too much? No. It's a lot, but it's not too much. No. No, Mr. Superman, no. I think, like, looking at like here, I think like with the axe, the splatter, I think on the axe looks good. A little bit on his hands, it looks pretty good. I don't know if you really needed it kind of like sparingly on the chains like this. And I think little tiny splats would have worked fairly well. You know what I mean? Almost like his hand was covered in blood, and it was kind of like splashed up his arm. You know, I think more on his feet would have been fine there, and then kind of splashing up his shin guard, and then just a little bit on his thigh, more like, like he's kind of been treading through blood, kind of thing, right? But otherwise, no, I don't think it's too much blood. It's a lot of blood, but it's not too much blood. I mean, it's kind of a chair, for God's sakes, right? Here we go. We got blood on the tank too. Do we have blood on the tank? Let me zoom in. Oh, I'm getting annoyed. Come on, let me zoom in. I won't let me zoom in. Aww. Anyway, it looks like blood rather than dirt, which is kind of funny. Because it's like, he's just running people over and everything like that, right? It looks good. I mean, whites can be tough sometimes. I don't know if you've shaded your white or not. Fun way to shade your white is to say something like Uthran gray or something like that. Thin it way down and just paint it into the recesses, like the panel lines and stuff like that, and just kind of paint it in there, and that'll give you some shadow and break that surface up a bit for you. But very cool. It's a nice strong white. Also, it looks like you were painting on top of a black primer as well. So it looks like you might have had to build the layers up a bit. Best one for that is ceramite white. If you're gonna paint on top of black and you want to paint your white, yeah, you're best do ceramite white for your paint rather than white scar. This looks like an emergency brake system. Like he's driving really fast and he drops the door and that thing would do a flip or something. Like so spikes would dig into the ground and tank would do a flip. But it looks really good. Oh, you know what though? You got blood on the track, like on the sides of the tracks, but you don't have any blood kind of in the recesses of the tracks. And I realize it'd be really kind of bloody and messy, and like it'd be a lot. So I don't think you need to do that. But anyway. Zoom in. Oh, there. Oh, this is good. Let me zoom in. Oh, like the leading edge of his wings are all smacked in blood. Like he's been decapitating people as he's been flying by, kind of thing. It's a lot. It's a lot of blood. With this much blood, I think going with a deeper color and then coming in with just slightly lighter color blood. It's almost like you have like dried blood. I think actually would work better in these kind of situations where you have like these demons and stuff like that. That way, because it feels like it's been like decades and ages and many many battles that he's been through, and so like there's just nothing but caked blood all over the guy, right? But very cool. Was that it? I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so very good. Thank you for sending those in. I like them. Very interesting. It is a lot of blood. Is it too much blood? I think on the Helldrake, it looked kind of interesting on the Helldrake. And again, I think like if you did it like dry blood and then just a little bit of fresh blood, just kind of like that kind of look, I think would look really kind of cool. Especially if he's flying around, right? Because I mean, like you wouldn't imagine there'd be fresh blood all the time he's flying around. You'd imagine that would dry after a while because he is flying around and it would dry, right? Land Raider, I don't know if the Land Raider needed blood. I don't really think so. Maybe on that front spike or, like the front of the tank, maybe like they're hitting people and you get that kind of splat on the front of the tank. Not so much on the treads. I don't really think you needed it on the sides of the tank. I don't think it was really that necessary. And of course, Karn, again, I already mentioned, Bug Karn. But yeah, so again, thank you for sending that in. Very cool. I liked it. Dave Taylor, it's not the amount of blood, it's what you do with it. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because you can always have too much, and of course you can always have too little. And it really is, it's all in how you treat it, right? It's all in how much you have going on there, and, also like, your experience on applying it and making it look like it's telling a story, right? Because I mean, you can have the axe and have that kind of blood spraying right along the surface of the axe, and that tells you like he's swinging that thing into people, right? And if his hand was like kind of covered in blood because maybe he was punching people out, or he's just soaked in it, and his arm looked like it was kind of splattered up. Maybe he punched somebody and it just went, blood went splattering, or he put his hand through somebody, so kind of some kind of kung fu move, and he did that, stuff like that, It just kind of tells the story. And, even though some people don't like gore on the models, I'm not against it. I think it, done right, it does tell the story. It does help tell the story. It helps and gets a reaction from the viewer, because you're like, ooh, geez, what's wrong with these guys? What's wrong with him? Why is he all covered in blood? Why is blood dripping from his mouth? Like all these things help create character, and sell the illusion to your friends and your viewers and stuff like that. Okay, coffee break. I can feel it in my throat. Armor Freak. Very carefully, I think it's the official GW answer. Huh? I don't get it. Oh, how do Marines get out of a Land Raider? Very carefully. They can't get out very carefully. They have to come charging out, right? But yeah, whereas a Land Raider looks like it can barely hold 5 regular Space Marines, let alone 5 Terminators. Or like a Crusader, 8. Is it 8 or 7? I think it's 8. Anyway. Let's do another email because I grabbed the wrong mouse. This is from... Who's this from? Blazeburn Colin. Hi, Kris. Just a quick thanks for Way of the Brush show you put on. I've been meaning to watch for quite a while, joining the mini wargaming vault around 3 months back, and finally managed to catch my first one today. I'll be sure to order a shirt on my next payday in a week or so. And what's an introduction email without a poorly taken photo of my first ever recently painted models? Painted after going through a bunch of quick tip videos, of course. Thanks again, Kris. You're super cool, potato sauce. See you in the next show. I really enjoyed it. Colin Blazeburn, 1944. So, boom. Space Marine with a cannon right at the camera. Pointed right at the camera. And so here are his, newest Space Marines. Of course, the backlight, it's kind of hard to see, what kind of highlights we got going on here, but it does look mostly clean. I can see red where red normally would be. I can see the greens where the green is. The white should be where the white is. One teeny tiny thing, drilled the barrels, the gun barrels, and the small plasma gun barrel. Drill them out. That's just a minor thing. You don't have to drill them out. You can actually just put like a black dot there and whatever. But yeah, pretty cool. I like them. I wish the lighting was the other way so that we could see a bit more of your work. But if these are your first, then I imagine that you're probably quite self-conscious of what your efforts are like. But I think I can safely say that your work is pretty good. And as long as you stay nice and neat and put the colors down and thin your colors out, and yeah, you'll get a lot better as you go along. And that's a no joke. A no joke. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my things ready here. Anyway. Alrighty. So where are we in these comments? Lee Welton. Spikes would stop the door opening. Yeah. Dr. Santos. Don't Castlanders eat their crew from time to time? Oh, I don't know. Do they? Jeez. Sounds kind of rough for a ride. African wise men for the chaos to answers that they don't get out. Crunchy nut cornflakes. Everybody's getting cheesier and cheesier as we go in here. All right. Next email. I think I read that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think this is how it goes. Sorry. This is from Captain Cool Pants, who I think is here today. Hey there, Kris. After reviewing the email I previously sent that you aired on the 100th episode, I realized that my email was a crazy ramble of nonsense. What I was trying to get at was, what advice suggestions would you give to liven up my army? Something to make them stand out a little instead of a clean, boring look. Spank you, Justin, Captain Cool Pants. And so he forgot to attach a picture, but then he sent a picture later on. And so, yeah. Remember these out there? Yeah. Zoom in. Old lines. I'm just bugging. And to liven them up. Well, to liven them up a little bit. Let's say, for example, this guy versus this guy. This guy looks more lively than this guy, right? Why is that? Well, because we have this other color thrown onto the model. There's these little spot colors. Right? Red. Boom. Thrown on there. So you might consider doing that. With these little spot colors. You might want to go with bright green. Red works really well. Bright green would look really nice. Yellow would look really cool. Also, too, the symbols on like the heads. The wraith symbol, right? Yeah, they're all red except him. Why are they all red except him? Anyway, the blue in the guns, I think I would do a little bit different. I don't think I'd do them the same. I would probably do them in more of an off tone, maybe more greens in it or more purples, just so that it didn't feel the same kind of blue as the armor itself. Not that it becomes visually confusing or anything like that. It's just again something just to kind of draw the eye and make it feel that it stands out from the model. But yeah, getting some symbols on these guys, different colors, just getting other details. Also, the other thing is too is like it doesn't look like the white is shaded at all, and so you might want to do that as well. You might want to throw a shade in there. Say for example, Ultraman Gray, thin it way down and apply it into just like the recesses and stuff, like the cloth on the loin and stuff like that. You throw it in the deeper recesses just to get a little bit more depth in there. But again, otherwise, great stuff. Captain Cool Pants. Captain Cool The name's just funny. I like the name. Because he's a captain, but he's got cool pants. But he's still a captain. But he's got cool pants. Where are we in the comments? I'm a freak. And damn you, autocorrect changing Elder on me to end the time. What? I'm a freak. Didn't they already have heels? Do they? Raven Falls. Fishnets for the win? Are we looking at the same models? I don't know. I somehow get the impression we're not. Jim White, Feather Boa Power LRD weapon is scary though. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. And those ones where they throw the flamer template out. Oh yeah. Can you because when you charge them, that's D3. D3 destroyer hits on you as you come charging in at them, like per guy. That's gross. You'll get burned alive doing that. Dr. Santos, I've got a cool thong and I'm still a doctor. I've got a cool thong and I'm still a doctor. Okay. What time are we at here? Holy crap, it's 1:30 already. Jeez Louise. We don't have a name for the show. What's the name of our show? What's the name of our show? Think about that while I read an email. African Wiser, so it makes you Dr. Thong. Dr. Santos, I would as much a doctor as Doom is. Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. So another email. This is from Broken Colony. Dear Sir Kris of Ascapia. Ascapia. Jeez. We're going to go on with this Ascapes again. The town crier has bestowed on me knowledge of your exploits in promoting me ye old YouTube channels for the price of one of the finest Ascapes a man can find. I present to you the Ascape of the Lord of Pestilence from Avatars of War. He is currently in a state of distress because he does not know how to make his armor look suitably grimy, while keeping the blue-orange balance going. He suspects adding some purple details might work, but is not sure. He also only uses Vallejo paints to give his armor the highest quality look as befitting a gentleman of his 28mm stature. Your honorable writer goes by the name Broken Colony at ye old YouTube in... Oh, I'm not going to read off the entire URL. But anybody who wants to copy that URL, give her, and you can see Broken Colony's channel. He works day and night on tutorials for those less fortunate peasants who still desire to play a lord's game of toy soldiers. Some sort of automatons called Gundams, and reviewing products from faraway lands to improve one's toy production. May your mustache stay as perky as a lamb's nipples on a crisp winter morning, my good sir. I hope this message finds you swift and true. Yours, Sir Broken Colony. May your mustache stay as perky as a lamb's nipples. Oh, that's funny. Stay as perky as a lamb's nipples. I don't even remember if there was a question there. Was there a question in there? Oh, no, we're just showing off stuff. Okay. As perky as a lamb's nipple. Where do these expressions come from? Where do they come from, really? So, here we go. I think this is from Avatars of War. Is that what it is? Very cool. Chaos Leader. Getting ready to smack somebody down with that mace. He's going to hurt somebody. You're going to hurt someone with that old shotgun. Oh, okay. So he's doing this nurgly thing with the guts and stuff like that. And he doesn't want it to conflict with the blue? Is that what it is? If I remember correctly now. Purples? Yes, purples would go very nicely. It'd also give you some, a little bit more depth as far as that's concerned. Yeah, I think purple really is probably a better choice, other than maybe a flesh tone, like a ready type of ready brown kind of flesh tone. Use like a shade wash or whatever. But no, I think a purple. I think you might be on the right track with the purple. Purple will give you more that mystical chaos kind of feeling as well. But very cool. And so, where's the next picture? Here's the shield. Little skull with kind of a half mohawk thing on it. How would you have a skull with the hair still stuck to it? How would the hair stick? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm sure somebody can explain it to me, but I don't get it. Anyway, so very cool. Thank you, Broken Colony, for sending that in. And of course, anybody wants to rewind and copy down the URL for his channel, or just, I imagine you can probably type Broken Colony into YouTube and check his work out. Where are we in the comments? Oh yeah, we're looking for a title for the show today. Ross Dealey, episode 101, the Tau bring the D. No, Eldar bring the D. Eldar bring the D. I think we've already established that. Episode 101, Thong of Thongs. Tolo, Kris gets nailed by Quirk with a Nerf dart. You pervs. It's a little long. African Wise Man, episode 101, nothing but D. I'm kind of liking that one, nothing but D. Prawn Hamdens, Elder, high heels, +1 leadership for adding confidence, and +1 strength for HOW. I can't run, I don't know. Raven Falls, episode 101, lamb mustache nipples. Yeah, I don't, mustache nipples, I don't get it. African Wise Man, that is a badass looking model. That is very cool. Xantos, episode 101, we provide the D and feel no pain. Jim White, episode 1, bringing the D strength advice on a crisp fall morning. It's not fall, it's winter, man. Tau bring the D. No. Tau don't bring the D. Plasma painting. Episode 101, Kris gives all the D. Raven Falls, Booble Stash in a fishnet. Nope. I almost missed it because of Star Wars. Oh, Saba. Saba Perez. There he is. African Wise Man. You need feel no pain for all this D. I think that's it. You need feel no pain for all this D. Only dumb jokes that 40k nerds would get. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. You need feel no pain for all this D. Love it. That's an excellent name for the show. Thank you. Thank you. Who was that? African Wise Man? Yeah, it was African Wise Man. Thank you, African Wise Man. I like it. It's been your Awaken the D. Oh my God. You guys are crazy. David Taylor, episode 101, Schooling Quirk's punk ass. He's a punk ass. I should wail on him after I'm done the show. I'll have to have somebody film it while I just beat on him like full on Planet of the Apes, just kind of just wah, 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 beating on him. Jim White, great title, Kris and Wise Man. Yeah, I like that. And he'd feel well pain for all his D. That's almost a quote of the day. Okay. Where are we? So we're caught up in comments. We're caught up. GS scored episode 101, last of 2015. Yeah, but that sounds kind of sad, doesn't it? It's the last episode. Oh. Where it's, no, you're going to feel the D. Nicholas and Kris, give Quirk an atomic wedgie like the good old days. Like the kind where I can just pick them right up? Yeah. Maybe. That's assuming he's even wearing underwear. It wouldn't shock me if he's not. I would not be surprised if that kid does not wear underwear. Ross Dealey, episode 101. You'll need you feel no pain with all of RD. G squared, I'm kind of sad about it. Oh, what it's all about. All right, this is from... Who's this from? Anyway. It's AABE. Dominic from Austria. Okay. I assume he used some sort of translator because like the text changes shapes on me and it's kind of freaking me out actually, but anyway. Hello, Kris. Need your help, please. I have this problem after painting maybe 40 seconds with a detail smaller brush in one take. The bristles separate in ugly sections. I know it's normal, but there is a point where the color dries on the brush and the bristles slowly stick together, sometimes in separate sections. But my small brushes separate their bristles before the colors on it is unpaintable. Even if I change them regular new ones, I wash the brush out in water and dry it on a paper towel with some careful strokes and get a new load of color. Paint on, and when I'm done, I wash all the used bristles and try them again, and then gently strokes on a paper towel and stick them straight in a glass, empty one, ready for the next session. Use GW colors and mostly their brushes. Okay. Well, if you are really concerned about the brushes, pick yourself up some brush soap. Brush soap, right? Masters brush soap is one brand, but there are many brands, and I'm going to assume that, you're in Austria, so I'd imagine there's probably another European equivalent to, Masters brush soap. Offhand, I can't think of a name. I know there was a couple there that we've had periodically, because I know like a lot of you guys in Europe, it's a different brand, but I mean it does the same thing. It's for brush care, for paintbrush care, right? So, anyway, what I do wrong with my brushes, maybe it's the rotation, pushing the brush in the water cup while washing out, that makes me this problem, specifically with the small brushes. Are there any miniature colors that GW ones not as fast drying out on the brush, or am I just too slow a painter? In every quick tip video or other painting tutorial, your brushes always look like out of the package. Especially the tip are always smooth, thin, look sharp during your paint. Makes me jealous. How do you threat? How do I threat my brushes before or after I paint them? How do you clean them during painting? And what do you take care when you buy new ones? On what you take care of when you buy new ones? Please tell me some do's and don'ts. Best regards from Austria, Dominic. Okay, so as I mentioned before, okay, prawn handmaids. I can't find UK brush soap. Yeah, there was who was it? There was somebody who's it's like Danish artist or somebody. He told me that they had brush soap. It was a different brand, but it was a brush soap. Anyway, on to brush care for Dominic here. Dominic. So, for example, now we're just using it. It doesn't have to be this kind of brush. It could be a precision brush. It could be whatever, right? Now, in the Mini Wargaming Vault, I do have a few videos on brush care. And this is a quick rundown of what I pretty much cover. when you are painting, okay, and you open your paint pot, do not dip the brush into the paint pot. Pull it from that little lip of the paint and apply it to a palette. You should always be painting from a palette because that way you can maintain more control over your colors, okay? If you are painting straight from the pot and applying to your miniature, you're not using any control. You're just at the whim of the paint of the on the model, and you can end up over saturating an area with color and making obscuring details and things like that. So, but you don't ever want to be dunking right into the paint pot because what happens is paint gets into where the bristles go inside the furrow. They get inside the crimp here, and then that's when the hairs all of a sudden start to splay, because that paint is drying inside that area, and that's what causes those hairs to splay outwards. To stop that and to help mitigate against that is brush soap. Brush soap, like Masters brush soap. Okay, this stuff's really great. It's essentially just like a bar soap. All I do is I take the brush, dunk it in the water, run it through the brush soap a little bit here, and then I take it in my hand and then I just work it like a lather. It's nice and sudsy. Wipe that off, rinse the brush off. Brush is clean. Then when I'm done painting, I'll wet the brush after cleaning it. Of course, I'll wet the brush again, and I'll draw it through the soap once or twice, and then I'll take that excess soap and I'll draw the bristles back into a fine point. Then leave the brush on its side on the table to dry, and then I'll put those little caps back on. If it's a small detail brush, if it's a big brush like this, then I just chuck it back into the cup. But you don't ever want to rinse your brush off right away and then sand it up like this, because then what happens is moisture can run down to the furrow and get down to your crimp here and rot the glue and potentially cause wood rot, because typically these handles are still made of wood. And so wood will rot under moisture. But I mean, we're talking like years down the line when you'll get wood rot. But I mean, if you're taking care of your brushes, man, you'll have these for a long time. Ross Dealey, is that a BB-8 droid? Yes, it is. You gonna talk some more? Talk some more. Talk. I said talk. Bad droid. Talk, you. I killed him. Where is he? Come on, you're supposed to just shake him and he's supposed to come online. Come on. Why, you little... Okay, he's not coming on. He's being difficult. And I can't find where his center is. There it is. Anyway. Everyone saw it on camera. Kris is a droid murderer. Yeah, usually all you gotta do is just give him a little shake and he starts up. I don't know why he's not starting up. Unless he was on all night. No, but he's got a 5-minute sleepy thing. Unless I played with him too much yesterday. I might have played with him too much yesterday. But anyway. Yeah, so hopefully that Dominic kind of explains a little bit of brush care. That sounded wrong without the video. Hopefully that explains. In Mini Wargaming Vault, I do have a few videos on brush care and like proper technique. You'll see kind of examples of how I'm using the paintbrush. Basically, when you're drawing the paint, because when you apply your paint to the palette and you're drawing your brush through, like you rinse your brush off and then you start working with the paint. And as long as your paint is not going all the way up to that metal of the furrow, you're good. But when you start letting that paint sit in that area and it dries, that's when those hairs are going to start splaying out on you. And why BB-8? Why are you not working? You're angering me now. Watch this. I'm going to split them open now. Where's the seam line? There it is. What the heck? I just got this little guy and he's... Is his remote working? Holy crap. Yeah, that works. He's receiving. He's receiving. Holy... Oh, now he's going to talk now. Scared the crap out of me. He makes all the sounds. There we go. See? Yeah, the whole show is just going to be me watching me play around with my BB-8. I like this little guy. As soon as I saw it in the previews, I was like, oh, look at this cute little droid. He's running around. He's just a little ball. And, you know, he's too cute. I don't know. Getting silly in my old age, I guess. King Luke 222, you broke that droid. That's why. Is that one you control with the smartphone? No, this is not the one. This is one that comes with its own controller. The one that you control with your smartphone, it's actually smaller. Although BB-8 disagrees. Wade the Brush 101. Kris killing a BB-8. Dead battery? No. I don't know what it was. It just, he was on and it just needed this signal, I guess, to kind of wake him up, I guess. I don't know. Start him up. Kris, how do you deal... Oh, this is Plasma Plays. Kris, how do you deal with painting the same model over and over? I.e. a box of Necron Warriors or a box of Space Marines. That's kind of tough. And, you know, like, I imagine you're still doing the commission stuff. And, all right, you can go play over here. So, you can see him in the background. Moving around. Sit in the corner. Anyway, working your way through those kind of jobs where you just have, you know, 10 Space Marines, 10 Imperial Guard, 10 and whatever, right? You kind of want to work the shortest distance through them. And by that, I mean, like, for example, laying their base color down. You want to do that with something like Army Paint or Spray, right? Where you lay the base color down in a blue, and then you give it a shade, you kind of give them all a shade wash. It's really just an exercise in just kind of trucking through, you know, the job, as it were. And, you know, not really, you know, kind of shutting your brain off, really, essentially, you know, and work out a process for doing it. So, for example, Space Marines, and you got 10 Space Marines doing, and you leave their backpacks off and you leave the bolt guns off, right? So that you can get to everything, and you just kind of work, or maybe even their shoulder pads as well. You can leave the shoulder pads off and, you know, do those separately as well. And, you know, you just kind of work your way through, or you glue them all together and you paint it all as one and just kind of work your way into the nooks and crannies. For the most part, I think if you're going to do Space Marines and try and do them well, I think you should leave backpacks and guns off so that you can get at everything. Sometimes even the shoulder pads as well. And I just got to make sure he doesn't roll off the table or something like that. It's like a little child. I have to babysit my own droid. Oh, wrong mouse. So, anywho. Yeah. So hopefully that kind of helps Plasma. I know it's not an easy one to answer. Just because, I mean, like, you know, like, I mean, my commission painting, I mean, like, I did it a long time ago, but man, I mean, I'm a crap commission painter. I'm crap at commission painting, and it's because I'm a slow painter, and, you know, I get bored. I get bored really easily, and sitting there doing, you know, 10 Space Marines, you know, and I have to get them done, you know, in just like a day or two. Yeah, I'd go bananas. Mark Hill, episode 101. Kris playing with his ball droid. Hydra Ascendant. Kris, I've been watching Way the Brush for a while and other mini wargaming vids, and it has inspired me to start up my own channel for hobby-related tutorials. Do you have any advice for painting on camera? For painting on camera, the hardest part is staying in frame. So if you have a good camera and it has an output that you can run to, say, a TV or a monitor or something like that, and somewhere you can keep visuals so that when you're painting and you can see it, and you know what I mean, like, so you can see the painting and you can see kind of where you're looking, to make sure you stay in frame. And that's key, is staying in frame. As far as what your brush techniques and your skill and what you're showing off and what have you, sky's the limit. Really, it's key factor is staying in frame, making sure you have good light, and your camera. The camera, it's not too huge issue. I mean, like when I first started, this was what the first couple of painting tutorials I filmed. This is the camera I used to paint those tutorials. To film those tutorials. And this one was, a small little Samsung 1080p camera. I just set it up and so. African wise man, visually mark out your frame and have a fixed cam stand. Yeah, well, you need the tripod but oftentimes when you mark out the frame, sometimes you have to change because, the size of the model or, what you're working on. Because, for example, when I'm painting a model and it's on the little pins, I can have a particular frame. But sometimes when I'm using a cork and a wire to hold the bit, it changes because actually the cork is sitting closer to the camera and the pin brings it up closer, but there's more depth behind. And so, you end up having to change frame all the time. It's just easier to have a monitor in front of you and while you're painting, and so you can still see that you're staying in frame, and so hopefully Hydra, that it helps. African wise man, I need to get one of those. One of what? Monitors? Tolo, we're not getting to my email, are we? Kris kind of killed my Christmas and the droid. Tolo, how did I kill your Christmas? It's not even the end of the show. And okay, here's your email right here. Jeez. Tolo, you whiny little. Alrighty. Here is the requested, or here as you requested are my PPSS picks. No showing these before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard on the show, though I have to lug my Trollkins to the dentist and won't be able to field questions until then. Like, you don't even start with an email with hi or thank you or, how's it going? You start off with just here. Anyway, that's just bugging Tolo. Yes, the pick is... the dark pick is poopy looking, as cell phones don't do night shots. The fading in and out LEDs circuits doesn't help either. Working on another paint swap for a local group, and I'm hoping to outdo the Konovic with it. I will be doing 1 or 2 sacral vaults, just the lighting, in the upcoming months. So here we go. And so here is this nice little commission project that he did, or it's not a commission project, but it's like a Secret Santa thing, and it was, gifts and stuff. So here, snowy base, look at the icicles and LEDs. And so this picture, just showing off the light of the model, And the pink was what? He had to have that pink, right? It had to be pink because the rest of his army was pink. You can see the base. It's got the wreath. Pink. It's really nice. Icicles. I remember we talked about the icicles for a bit, how to do those icicles. And I said I was probably going to just, basically just rip them off and show people how to do that. It's a pretty simple process. Very nice colors, though. I like the pink. I do like the pink, actually. It feels kind of really kind of candy. Like, it feels like those mints. But very cool. Everybody gets to enjoy these now. I think the icicles, though, are a little bit symmetrical. Like, where they're placed. I think you could have kind of had like one, and then kind of another one like that real quick, and then one. And then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then, kind of like that. Just kind of break it up, make it feel a little bit more natural. But very good. This one's nice and clear. Like a big cupcake. And the fun part about War Machine is that no matter how high the bass goes, it doesn't matter because it's this bass that has a set volume. And so this bass could go like way up like a foot, and it doesn't matter because this bass size has a set volume, and it, that is what only interacts. So, yeah. But very good. So that's Tolo's, what was it? Secret Santa? No. What the hell was it? Oh, I forget now. Anyway. Where are we? African Wiseman. Get a droid. Get a droid. Tolo, I win. Jib White, we win. Rain falls. If I knew whining would get an email read. Yeah, I know, right? Well, because I know Tolo outside. I've known Tolo since high school. Since high school? Yeah, since high school. Since we were all punks in high school. And, yeah. If I knew whining would get my email read. Armor Freak, don't feel bad. Mine got buried somewhere. Who's yours? Armor Freak? Because I might not have even gotten to it yet. Oh, you just sent it to me today. You just sent it today, man. I'm not gonna. So it's very unlikely the day of the show I'll get to that email, but the next show I'll get to it. Usually, kind of. And I'm mostly caught up. I'm like 3 emails in behind what I got today. So we're in good shape. We're still in good shape for emails. Andy Clark, I've seen Star Wars twice already. Twice in 2 days already. You crazy nut. I'm probably gonna go tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna go probably see it tomorrow. Maybe today. Don't know. All depends. What kind of mood I'm in. Because if I'm in the mood to deal with people, then I'll probably go at today. If I'm not in the mood to deal with people, then no, I'll go when it's quiet and nobody's around. It's really different. It's really different, right? Because I mean, like, I can sit here and talk to you guys, and we can have some laughs and stuff like that. But it feels like there's a few of us, right? And it's like we're sitting around, and we're having some laughs. Well, maybe we're painting, maybe we're just kind of chilling out, whatever, right? And we're just kind of sitting around having some laughs. But when they have like that whole throng of people, and it's like and everybody's got these lightsabers, and you got Wookiees and Boba Fett's running all over the place. It's like, it just kind of gets on my nerves. Tolo, Secret Santa swap on the Privateer Press forum. It is out in Fredericton right now. I'm taking the kids on Xmas Day to go see it. Yeah? Awesome. So, I think that's it. Any questions, comments? You want a piece critiqued? Maybe you want help on a color scheme? Or do you just generally want to show off your work? Or, maybe your commission painting service and want to drum up some extra visibility, what have you. Send your emails to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Send the pictures as attachments in the emails, just because it's a little easier. We've had some problems before using like Photo Bucket and all those other crazy crap, and yeah, it's a huge pain. So Kris@miniwargaming, send your emails there. If that's not soon enough, you want to get input a little bit faster than that, join us on Facebook, Way the Brush Facebook. Join us there. Of course, we keep the conversations running there sometimes. Usually just kind of post whatever's going on or whatever I'm working on. That's usually where I post my crap. But otherwise, yeah. Way the Brush t-shirts, if you want to look nice and manly, like the rest of the individuals that you see in the intro and the outro, because, again, who does not want to look nice and manly? Way the Brush, connoisseur of all that is artistic, good, and right with the universe. And Quark, you are going to get it, you little bitch. So, take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I'm going to go take care of Quark because he's a pain in my ass.